So it's 7:06 p.m. August 29th. So another hustle they pull is they like to say it came from his parents' modem, whether it's Blackmail, God knows what else. They never do network forensic data analysis to inspect it or other methods of investigation. That's one of their hustles. And it doesn't even make sense. So, like, sometimes I send my ideas to law enforcement to report stolen property. And then supposedly, then they claim I blackmailed law enforcement for my own property that I was reporting stolen. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know who falls for that, but that makes zero sense at all. Um, and God knows what else. But yeah, their favorite hustle is it came from his parents' modem. So anytime they tell you it came from his parents' modem, that's for network forensics data analysis to support these claims and what device it came from, as well as whatever other investigative analyses. If that's not what you use, if there's other investigative analyses, ask for those, the authentic ones. And if anything ever does come from my parents' modem, it's probably a terrorist or a hacker involved with these telepathy people holding me hostage. Key point. So I'll never fall for that. I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. One, two, I don't know anything about computers. I really, when it comes to computers, I suck. I can use reason and logic and critical thinking and theorize models and think about how stuff works and pretend to be a user and think about that and think about process. But yeah, when it comes to computers, I don't know anything about them. Very little. I know I'm the art of the right click guy. I wrote the art of the right click, and I know how to like click. I know how to. This is something my favorite thing to do. Go and click option. And I look at these weird files in the library and try to recognize what looks authentic and what doesn't. And sometimes I may be right, and sometimes I may be fucking wrong. Other things I do is I also like to use the activity monitor and click what I think looks authentic and what doesn't and force quit. And that's not because I know about computers. I just sometimes can recognize things that look abnormal, or at least I think I can. I'm not even sure if I really do recognize things that are abnormal or not, but I think I do. I feel like I'm confident because sometimes some people act like I don't know if they're just trying to reinforce me, these telepathy people, and trick me that I found something. But sometimes I act like I found stuff that isn't authentic and real. So that's my extent of my computer skills. Literally nothing. Just kind of trying to recognize what looks like a real thing and what doesn't. Like if I see a computer process called LSD, I think of drugs. Sometimes I'm like, maybe there's not a computer process called that, but you don't know. There may be a weird guy named LSD. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the kind of weird shit I do. But I don't know anything about computers at all. I just try to recognize the norm from the abnorm and what I think is the norm. But granted, I haven't looked at a new computer and looked in the option in the library folder or at the activity monitor in a while. But I'd done it a long time ago, and then I started trying to familiarize and think what looks normal and what's not based off of certain activities I do on a computer. Um, that's not true at all. That's just more slander. Eat shit. But yeah. So never fell for it. I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm confines of the law. Have been the whole time. I do support smoking pot. Um, and it is legal depending on what part of the country and world you're in. But yeah. So I'll never fall for it. It's never me. So if it ever comes from my parents' mom, it's a fucking cyber terrorist, hacker fucker. And, you know, I would always check to see if it's ever true because you probably find a lot of the times it's not. Because I even actually said, well, I once actually called these telepathy people out when they were saying, oh, okay, from his parents' mom. I was like, you have network forensics data to support these claims? Yeah, let me see your investigative analyses. And then they even admitted to making this up. So I never fall for that shit because some of them, if it ever does come from my parents' mom, it's a fucking hacker. And I'd always check to see if it's ever true because some of these kids just make it up and that's part of their betting manipulation tactics and lies and hustles. Bet my life on it. They've already admitted to that. So I'm not sure how that works still.